Good evening. We want to welcome you this Wednesday night.
Hey there.
We hope that you are healthy. We hope that you are well. We hope that you are beginning to kind of get into the groove, because soon it looks like there is a light at the end of the tunnel.
We'll be getting out of the groove.
Then we'll be getting out of the groove, and then there'll be probably another groove that we'll need to get into. So, but we thank you for being with us. Now, I want to make this... Normally we chat with each other a little bit and you're kind of included, but I'm going to take just a few minutes and chat with you and tell you what is going on, what may go on, what may not go on. So this is going to be an information video, and probably next week will be a little bit more of an information video. So first of all, it doesn't matter what the rumors are. We're going to go by what the governor says to do. And so we have had, different people that are saying, oh, are you going to open this Sunday? We are not going to do anything this Sunday. We need to prepare. There's a lot of strategizing, and we really don't have information as to how we can meet. And I can go on and on, but bottom line is, no, we are not meeting this Sunday. So will we be meeting the following Sunday, which, by the way, would be Mother's Day? We don't know. We will have to see what the governor says. And according to how the governor says is how we'll have to strategize the services. For instance, if it's only a certain number, then we're going to have more than one service, or stop you at the door and say, you're number 50th or number 100th. And so the person behind you has to go home, which would be terrible.
Like at Home Depot, you have somebody tabulating how many are coming in, and you have the other person at the exit tabulating how many have gone out, and they know, okay.
So anyway, we'll have to strategize that. We will start up again as soon as possible. Believe me, all right? As soon as possible. Now again, that will probably only be one service on a Sunday, but you know what? We will talk more about that next Wednesday. All right, right now, I just want to tell you that it looks like there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and it will not be this Sunday, all right? It will not be this Sunday. So this Sunday, we'll go back to being on YouTube, and we will go back to being on Facebook. And so you can go ahead and find me there. And so just wanted to give you that information. Now, here's another piece of information that is very important. For Mother's Day, whether we do it on video, on YouTube and Facebook, or whether we meet, it does not matter. For Mother's Day, Larry Martin is putting together a video of mothers. And so what we would like for you to do is take a picture of your mother and send it in. You can go ahead and email it, or you can bring it to the church. Either way, if you say, I don't know how to send a picture through email, then just go ahead and bring it to the church. If you know how to do it, of course, you're going to scan it and you're going to. But for those of you that don't know, you can bring it by the church. For those of you that do know, you know what to do. All right. Now, email it. lmartin@cbcmelbourne.org. lmartin@cbcmelbourne.org. All of our emails are our name, like I'm S. Reyes at CBC Melbourne. Mike Alford is M. Alford at CBC Melbourne. So you're going to send it to Larry because he's the one that's putting the video together. So you're going to send it to, again, L. Martin, should be easy to remember, L. Martin at CBC, which is for Calvary Baptist Church, but cbcmelbourne.org. Send your pictures there. Need to include who the individual is. In other words, the name of the mom, and also your name. It is your mom, so that we are able to put both on the video and know who this lady is, okay? So get those in as soon as possible. You've got a couple of weeks, and he's going to go ahead and be putting them together. You're going to be getting this on an email. You're going to be seeing it on Facebook. But we thought this was a great time to get it to you all, because there's a ton of people watching this on Wednesday night, which is really exciting and really makes us feel good, to invite you into our family room and you come in and you join us and be a part of us. And I am blown away as to the number of people that are joining us for this and joining us for Sunday morning too.
So
over 1,000 viewers on Sunday morning. So that has been, I think I may start liking church this way, where 1,000 people. Whoa. But anyway, that's all the information I've got for you. And, we're blessed. We really are blessed when you think of just the way that we are coming out of this. We don't understand this. This has been difficult. I would have a different feeling if it wasn't worldwide. Because it is worldwide, it just blows my mind. But this is from God. It's a God thing, if you will. And I really believe something's going to come out of this, or, there's something behind it. I know Satan, who's the prince of the power of the air, is certainly behind it. But I'm sure that, it's also going to be a God, of course, that is behind this. But we're blessed, aren't we?
We are so blessed. Yes, we are. The Lord has been so good to us. And I have been reading several of our missionary letters, the ones that are my missionaries, and Dave also sends us information from other missionaries. And wow, we have been truly blessed, because there are some that if they are if they're caught outside the house past 5 o'clock, there are stiff fines.
Mm-hmm.
Like starting at $500.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's that. There's the fact that we can still go to a store and get food, and there is food there to be gotten. And there are some places that all of the businesses, all stores are closed. I don't know how, in a city where they're not growing their own food or something like that. I don't know exactly how they get it and that kind of thing. Other things that are just we take so for granted. Maybe y'all don't. I try not to, but anyhow, that's sort of been the theme of my thought today. Is, oh dear God, how blessed we are! How blessed we are, and I realize that maybe some of you that may be watching this may not be living in Melbourne, but in Melbourne, the temperature is so beautiful. The climate is so wonderful and everything. I just think, wow, this is, it could be that, again, it could be so different, and depending on where you live and that kind of stuff. All of that leads me then to really a sense of humility and a sense of, God, wow, you're so good to us. You're so good to us. And a thankfulness that I just can't help but thank God for this, and feel humbled that He provides even in the rough times. And there are people that have lost their jobs. I'm not talking about furloughed. I mean lost their jobs. The business has closed down. It no longer exists. Will it start back up? Maybe, maybe not. But it's not just like they've been furloughed. There's a lot of stuff, and many of us, and probably many of you that are watching, you can say, I'm blessed. I do have food. I do have electricity. I have a safe place to live. I've got these things, and these are all material things. But the things that are not material are the things that I have hope, because I have Jesus. I have hope in Christ. I have peace. I have a trust that God has proven Himself throughout the ages, and he continues to prove himself that he is Almighty God. And so, those are just things that I think about, that how, about all the blessings.
We have some people back there.
Yes.
We do apologize for this. We've been invaded, obviously, in the back, and we did not know this. And this is a bit of a serious time, and we're having a bunch of clowns behind us. And so I don't know what to do.
We just,
so
know
anyway,
what?
Yeah, but they're making faces, and it's getting a little ridiculous back there. So again, we apologize. This should not have happened.
We were photobombed.
We've
video bombed.
We were photobombed, I
Yes,
guess. But
yes.
anyway, getting back to being blessed. I really believe we've been blessed as a church because, as far as I know, we have no members or even attendees, because we have a lot of people that attend that are not members. So I have to watch how I say that no one that I know of has tested positive. We have not had anyone, of course, pass away. However, we have had a few of our folks that know folks. One of our ladies had a very good friend of hers that passed away just a few days after being tested positive and having the virus down in South Florida. So we realize that people are being impacted by this. And I don't want this to sound like we're bragging or maybe not saying, oh, look, we are above everybody else or anything like that, because God has put the shield up, and that's not where I'm going with this. But we do need to thank God that we are healthy, and thank God that our flock, if you will, because that's how I see it, our flock has remained safe and has remained virus-free.
Yeah.
And so, I thank God that my flock has been left virus-free.
Right.
And we've not, it would, it would be really hard for me if one of our members got this virus and I can't even go see them. I mean, the family can't even go see them. As I shared already with you, we've had people pass away while this virus is going on, and I've not been able to go to a hospital. I've not been able to stand within 25 yards of a graveside. I mean, it's been difficult, and we really are blessed that we've been taken care of. And of course, it hasn't ended yet. I mean, just because we're able to meet again doesn't mean that it's gone away.
Right. Right.
Poof, it's gone. No, we know that. We know that it hasn't gone away. But we just wanted to share that we look at our situation and really thank God for you all being healthy, and us being healthy, our families being healthy. And, we still need to thank God for that. Not in a boisterous way, but just in a way that says, God, thank you for keeping us safe. We pray for traveling mercies, for instance, and I guess this is not far from that God has put a hedge around us and is keeping us safe. And so we certainly are blessed for that.
And so true.
Just know that our people are in good hands, and because we're with the Lord, and that in itself is just a good feeling. We don't know where this is going, but we know that He does.
Yeah.
We don't have control over this, but we know that He does.
And aren't you glad? I'm glad I don't have any control.
Yeah, well, absolutely, yes.
I'm glad.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not just with this, but with anything. It's just what a burden many times people put on themselves to carry a heavy burden of control.
Mm-hmm.
And trying to make sure everything's just like this and that. The anxiety that's got to be, when the reality is, no, you'll never have control.
Yeah, that's true. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that's where we fool ourselves, thinking that we have control of our lives when we don't have control of our lives.
Absolutely.
We're living in this fantasy world that we think we got it all, locked down and put away, and I mean, it's all taken care of, and really, just like that, things can change.
Things can
Whether
change.
it's out in the traffic or who knows where.
That's right.
And all of a sudden, boom, within seconds, just
Yeah.
things change. So,
Right.
and it's a real rude awakening to realize that we're not in control.
That's right.
So,
That's right.
but we want to thank you for joining us tonight. And again, just keep posted emails. We do try to call as much as we can, and I've been trying to keep up with a lot of the congregation, and I sometimes spend an hour just making phone calls and just calling one person after another. Some of you have been called. Brother Weber is doing a great job of keeping in contact with our seniors, our stars. And so he also keeps me posted. As a matter of fact, today he told me, he said, this is what's going on in the lives of these folks. And and it was good to, get that report. And I had talked to those folks on Saturday when I made my calls. And so it's good to know that everybody's doing well. But we try to do the best that we can. We have found out that some of the numbers that we have are not good. And so we'll have to fix that. But that's been kind of like, whoa, what is this,
So if you have moved and have an address change,
or change your number,
have a different phone number nowadays, please take a moment and call the church, and Dulce will, or leave a message at the church or
leave
something.
a message if no one answers.
And just give us an updated phone number and or address, and or email, because we want to be able to keep up with you, but if we don't have contact information, we can't.
Yeah. So try to help us with that. Well, until next week, thank you for coming into our family room and invading our family room. But we hope that you just enjoy these times when we just chat. And let me say that this is not a put on. We do this.
We do this all the time.
This is our family room. I mean, you know. So we sit here, we
do
chat, we
actually talk
read.
to each other.
These
Yes.
I'm one of those that I read a lot, but I can't just read one book. So I keep about 3 books rotating.
Mm-hmm.
I know what you're thinking. Some people say, how can you do that without getting one book confused with the other? Well,
They're
I've
so
done
different.
I've done it with so long, and they're so different. But this is where we read, and this is where we chat, just like we're doing with you. You just happen to be in the room right now.
And usually
of
we're
course,
sitting out on the back porch.
and
at
if
this
it's good
time.
weather like today,
Yeah.
while we're sitting out there as
Yeah.
well, yes,
That's
and
right.
that's nice to be sitting out there.
Sure
So this isn't something we are just putting on for you. No, this is life for us, and so it's just the two of us, and so
We live an exciting life.
we live a real exciting life, unless you get invaded like we just did. So anyway. Thank you for joining us. You have a
Thank
good
you.
night.
Have
Lord
a
bless
good
you.
night. Bye-bye. Love
Bye-bye.
y'all.